So hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's time to jump back into Encounter Party. This is episode 14. The show so far has been an absolute wild ride. Just reminding you guys that the link to my Patreon is in the description down below. There's a bunch of Patreon exclusive content that goes on over there. We're doing reactions to shows like Angel, Handmaid's Tale, True Blood, Supernatural, X-Files. There's live streams, film reactions. There's a lot going on. Twitter, Instagram, anywhere else you can find me is also in the description. Let's go with episode 14. I think the last one was one of my favourites. The last one was very strong.
It was opening night as the players revived the much anticipated play.
That was a genius episode to throw in.
Mediocre performance. A masked vigilante in the rafters arrived to sabotage.
I would not call that mediocre. I think they did a stellar job. That knock was sounded like it was in the room.
Welcome to the Erickson abode. How may I help you?
This is the person who answered the door at the Tempress.
There's a mean guy from the report person's office. He'll see you at the door.
Who? Whatever that noise is.
Just come get the door, Vin.
My name is Duncan. I'm the personal attendee of Patriarch Mallory Tempress.
Oh, nice.
He seems fit to give you this.
Did you bring donuts?
Thank you.
Do not be late.
You are hereby cordially invited to dine at the home of Patriarch Mallory Tempress. Please arrive at the appropriate hour dressed
dinner invite?
appropriately. House of Tempress.
The appropriate hour dressed appropriately. Really gave us all the info there with that, didn't
you?
you?
Coin and you want general notes is it's about 10 to 15 gold pieces for really nice clothing.
Oh,
Jeez.
For really nice clothing.
Do we have to?
No, you don't have to.
I just saved a lot of cash.
Tridian is going to take a walk to the outer city and see what kind of wares he can scrounge up from people who really need a leg up.
Ooh, point of inspiration.
Oh.
No, that's really nice.
You're shopping for different people, different stores.
Are we shopping together?
We going out on like a girls'
I'm not
trip?
spending any
Shopping for
money
some
on,
clothes?
on clothing. Can I buy other things? My
Yes.
Uncle Fritz said that those things can come in handy.
Yes, you have enough money to purchase one potion of healing.
Money's meant to be spent.
No,
Just
that
fine.
is
You
my
take
logic
my
too, and that's why I'm broke.
The
I am going to
House
2
of
conventions in the
Patriarch
next
Mallory Tempress
week and a half, 2 weeks, 2.
is
I'm doing 2.
gorgeous.
Money is meant to be spent, is how I ended up broke as fuck. But I'm happy. I have so much planned. I'm going on a week-long trip, but it's technically not a week-long. Shush. It's technically not a week-long trip because I'm doing like 3 trips in one. They all take place over the course of a week, if that makes sense. Money is made to be spent. Money is temporary happiness. It's also temporary, so use your temporary money to get some temporary happiness.
You walk up to the front door.
I'm glad I put on something nice.
And dressed in a far more professional manner than walking about town, Duncan opens the door. He checks his watch. Come inside.
He's
he walks
rude.
you into this
Not even a
large
hello, just a come
foyer,
inside.
of which there is a big grand staircase that goes up to the second level. Mallory Tempress is a male tiefling with purple skin. Welcome to my home. Is the pet necessary?
He is most well trained, sir.
Please prepare yourselves for dinner. I will meet you in the
Dinner?
dining hall.
He's got a slight
You
Transylvanian
are left with
accent to him.
Duncan.
Is he a fucking vampire?
This is not some back alley dive where you can score free drinks. This is a place of honor and a place of respect, and you will conduct yourself as such, or I will personally take pleasure in throwing you out.
Please remember to treat your guests with hospitality.
A hand across the face.
Oh my god, I'd be flipping tables and throwing plates.
You take 7, then 5, then 8 bludgeoning damage as your ears ring,
How hard did he hit him?
and you recognize you were actually slapped 3 times. You get led back
fighting
out
back?
into the main hallway, and you enter this gorgeous dining room.
Wait, so we all
Fantastic
just stood around while Finn was smacked silly across the face?
high back chairs. Can we fly out the table settings? No way.
Props!
Oh my god.
I love props. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. If I went to a dinner party and my friend, if we were spoken that rudely to, if they were like, "You will behave yourself," I'd be like, "Okay, can we start with you, you rude motherfucker?" And then if somebody slapped my friend, it's all bets off. I'm throwing down in the hallway. Okay, I'm smacking you and stabbing you with the cutlery. You start on the outside and you work your way in, right? With the fancy settings when there's like multiple forks for no fucking reason.
As your places
Start on
are
the outside
set,
and work your way in.
your
I learned that from the
hosts
Princess Diaries.
arrives. You may all roll initiative.
We're sitting down for dinner. Why do we have to roll initiative?
It is not meant to be a combat encounter, but initiative order is necessary in order to determine who goes first at what particular
You brought
moment.
us to dinner to
It
make us
will
play a
rotate.
game?
You are
What is
about
this
to
clue?
enter a fine dining experience unlike anything you have ever
An
occurred
escape room?
before. Utensil to consume the dish in the correct manner while other things are happening during dinner.
All right. No, we got this.
Yeah.
Do we?
As far as accuracy, etiquette, conversation abilities.
Okay. Etiquette. I know you don't put your elbows on the
Depending
table.
on how
I know you don't pop a
succeed
pinky when you're
or
drinking.
fail depends on how the end of this meal goes.
Oh, God.
That's so much pressure.
Good evening. Nice to meet you all again.
I'm guessing
My name
swearing is not allowed at the
Patreon
dinner
Mallory
table either.
Tempers.
I'd be
If you would
fucked.
so kind as a bowl of black soup. So
The
wine
soup spoon, I think, is
for
like
our
on
two
top. Doesn't it
underage
go on top?
drinkers, We have a sparkling apple mimic wine.
There's like your plate, there's
First
forks and
course
knives and
is
shit,
a
and isn't your
Kraken
spoon up
ink
on
soup,
top?
seasoned with lemon.
think, is that
and the
soup
tears
spoon?
Of a wayward sea captain's
Oh, I don't know.
wasted years.
I never go to restaurants or anywhere fancy because I don't like it.
Tempress's table settings are obscured from view, so you can't cheat as to how he's eating.
Couldn't you look at his hand as he's bringing the
First
spoon
up.
to his mouth? I'd be like, I'm afraid this is
Flick
poison.
will
I want to watch you take a sip of
pick
it
up.
first, and then when he does it, watch the spoon.
And start spinning to
Honey.
get the soup kind of roiled up.
I
which
don't
is
think that's what
allows,
that's
the
for.
soup to be more hearty in his mind.
And we'll stir, set it down, and actually take the bowl as well and sit that way.
Let it dry, and then take it with 2 hands and
No spoons. No one's using a spoon.
Dips the paddle into the soup and starts tinily rowing the soup. And then we'll daintily lick it off the end.
You gotta lick it off the end of the spatula. We're gonna be here all night long.
Soup with no chunks in it requires no utensil.
That's actually kind of smart.
Do any of you have the ability to digest metal? Kraken Inc. has a high iron content and successfully pulled all of the iron fragments out of the soup before consuming it.
Because it's magnetic.
They're gonna be
Duncan
shitting blood for the rest of the
approaches
evening. There was
table,
metal inside their
scowls
soup.
At some of you
I said it.
and
We should wait and
removes
watch what he
The
does.
bonker looks over at you for some dinner conversation.
I don't like to
I
talk
was
when I'm
under the
eating.
impression that the Longstriders had been disbanded.
I would rather not talk business over dinner, thank you.
It is my table. We will be discussing this now.
What do you believe? I'm sitting in front of you.
I do not believe that you may be who you say you are.
Ooh.
The salad course.
We didn't like that.
Duncan walks around the table, placing a small carafe next to each of your plates. That
What
you
the
realize
fuck is that?
is actually a live pitcher plant filled with an almost custard consistency.
We got a drink from a plant.
For this course, I present
no.
a carnivora vale endive salad with murder mushrooms versus daikon radish and a pitcher plant vinaigrette.
That has to be the most vicious name I've ever heard for anything.
I'd
A
like to
killer
run a
plant
nation
and a
check. I do have
vicious what?
proficiency.
Let's all try something different and see what happens.
We're all gonna do something.
Well, lucky for you, David, you're first up in initiative order. Little Radish and Mushroom Monsters.
I'm not hungry no
That's
more.
very cool.
I don't want to eat the murderous talking mushroom. I'm okay. I'm full from the metal soup.
And he stabs the mushroom? feeds it to the pitcher plant, then stabs the radish, feeds it to the pitcher plant, and then puts the fork down, grabs the pitcher plant carafe, pours the vinaigrette over the salad, replaces it, and then starts to eat the salad.
What?
Actually, I'm gonna have you guys go last.
Dridian is also going to select the fork.
You're feeding your dinner
Flick
to
is
the plant.
also going to take the leafy fork.
The editing style in this one is different. I wonder, was there a different editor? This feels
Fighting
different.
vegetables.
And she stabs the daikon radish
Dip it in the pitcher plant,
and begins to
eat it.
Takes a bite.
Stab them and eat them.
Let's see.
As you pour it onto the radish opens his mouth and drinks the vinaigrette. And the murder mushroom slaps him down and begins chewing on the radish.
Okay, so then he sits there and watches the murder mushroom eat the radish. When it's about done, he picks up the murder mushroom and bites it like an apple.
I was gonna say that. Put it into your mouth.
Exactly correct.
No fucking way. He
Exactly
got it right.
correct. Oh, except for you. You need to make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. In which Tempest
If you're
sort of
making me jump through
looks up
hoops to
from
eat
his
my
own
dinner, I'm
question
leaving.
and says,
You're in a 1 fucking star on
yes,
Yelp.
Duncan prefers not.
Never
to
used
force
Yelp
his
in my
guests.
life, but for this I would.
4.
Coatolini with auric belly bacon, cream, and a raw rocks egg. Baconless for our 2 vegetarian guests. Do not make a mess. And Arcana checks.
Great. I like that one.
great.
For those
Characters
proficient
ability to
in
remember
Arcana.
spells, magic.
21.
Okay.
19.
You know, I've been rolling really well, and it doesn't seem to really help me put 2 and 2 together.
We're like sweating bullets over a dinner party.
know.
Yeah. It's not
Like,
pleasant.
the only way out is through.
You got it.
Dridian will waft a hand over the lid and make sure that the temperature is
Are you gonna
appropriate
get
to
attacked?
touch, so
Is there
he's not
something
gonna
in this fucking
scald
tub
the
that's
hell
gonna
out of his
attack you?
palm. Will uncover his pasta dish.
That sort of looks like an oblong X sitting in sort of a white cream, and broken over the top of the middle is a large egg yolk.
Uncooked?
And Dridian, considering how best to eat pasta with the remaining utensils, choose tongs. And as neatly as possible, enjoy his meal.
No, aren't pasta the little ones? He's thinking of spaghetti, the long ones that you can twirl around like a lady in the tramp.
She's gonna take the most circular thing and
Vin takes the swirly part and then stirs it into the yolk.
And then uses the
takes
end to
time
stab the
to
pasta
mix the yolk
pieces?
in with the cream sauce.
I'd like to mix the egg yolk in first, and then
As daintily as he can, tries to lift the yolk up off the pasta. So
I
it,
thought pasta was the
runs
small little
evenly
shapes.
out over the sides of this across the whole dish.
Let it dribble out all over the cream sauce.
And then starts to eat
Why
the
am I so
pieces.
intrigued
and
by
then
a
she
dinner
eats it off
party?
the end of this guy.
And eat off this utensil.
And take a bite from there.
Breaking the yolk and mixing it into the pasta dish was very much the correct answer. The pasta started floating skyward to the ceiling. Speak of the graffiti artists bumming around the city.
I'm told, sir, that they're called the Future. Well, sir, our investigations thus far into their activities suggest that they have an abiding interest in prognostication, in future visions.
How are they convincing people to join them?
But I would guess that a firm vision of one's future is a very compelling point.
For the next course, the main course.
Oh. We're not even at the main course yet? How are ye still hungry?
After clearing off silverware,
You're after
and
eating fucking
cleaning
deadly
the
mushrooms and
pasta
snaky
ceiling,
noodles.
Duncan returns to serve the main course of tonight's dinner as he places an empty plate in front of each of you.
Thank God, something I can
Tonight's
get
main
behind.
course, wish, fish, fantasy, fricassee. Enjoy. And walks away.
Fantasy.
First up, Olivina.
What was the name of it again?
Wish Fish Fantasy?
Fish Fantasy Fricassee.
Brownie blondie combo. Yeah. With a big scoop of vanilla ice cream and caramel sauce.
On
with
fish?
Sprinkles on it.
Okay.
Oh wait, can you wish for anything? Wait.
Then I eat a deep fried red snapper.
With what Vin did, she closes her eyes, and that's what you see.
Seems like a nice plate.
Andrew.
You don't want nothing, Toto?
In front of him appears this cod that has been served over like a wild grain, and then has been.
We all chose fish except for
sliced
Toto, who chose
crossways
nothing,
across it
and
to create an
Olivina,
easier
who chose
pull
ice
off
cream.
bone.
I believe that building was closed on purpose.
I heard it was a good show.
It was. I loved this.
Yes, I heard it was a show as well. A play that was closed because of accidents.
Setting a trap to catch the culprit.
You were setting a trap for who?
The culprit.
We weren't sure. We thought
you
that
even
by
listening?
reopening the play and working with the Trillions, that we would potentially draw them back out, and draw them out we did.
And stares at you quizzically. Sort of scrapes some stuff off of them before cleaning up the other two and wondering why only two of you ate the food you actually wished for. Colored cubes that look like jellied candy.
What color?
One is sort of blue. One is black.
Is he
almost like a
making this
licorice
up as he
color.
goes? It looks
One
like he
is
doesn't
sort
even
of
have the
a
colors
muted
ready to
gray,
go. He's like, one
And
is
one of them is yellow.
blue?
And
Fuck, what other colors are there?
for our adult members, we have an ice Mephit dessert wine and magic milk for the youths.
Drudian feels as though he hasn't made a stellar impression thus far.
Because he hasn't.
Thinks, I'm embarrassed to say this is the first time I've ever enjoyed such a dessert.
How do you
Is
eat
there
it?
a recommended order in which to sample these?
Great question. Go.
Flick.
Rude.
Flick finds himself drawn to the blue and the yellow specifically, and the black.
Eat
and
them
the
all
gray
at once.
less so. But
Stack
he
them all up
decides
and
that what he wants to do:
all at
take
once.
the tongs, rearrange them in order from lightest to darkest. So he puts them yellow, then gray, then blue, then black, and then happily consumes
Blue is
them in that
lighter
order.
than grey.
Oh, I am so sorry. I'm actually allergic to booze.
David,
Vin will take his tongs, dip it in his wine, and then eat. And he'll do that for each one.
and drops them each one into his milk, like marshmallows into hot chocolate, and drinks his dessert.
But they can't do that with their wine. He can only do that with the milk, right?
I'm gonna have a bad day.
These people that you are trying to get the attention of, I believe they may have seduced my son. My son, Caden, has always displayed skills in magical arts. I thought, but as two of them are now missing, he has ceased contacting me for some time. I would like to hire you to find my son. If you are to bring my son back healthy and alive, I promise you will be without want for money for some time.
Flick is comfortable doing it.
Do you have any information as to the whereabouts of this group currently? Any clues?
It seems to me you have discovered the way to bring them to you.
Do you have any information on the location of my uncle?
But to be fair, I have not been looking for him.
So wait, your son was with Willowwalk?
No, I sent my son to go study with Sindric Olimar, but I heard that that man is actually dead.
All I hear about are potions growing up, and I can't find hide nor hair of them, or they're way too expensive. How about a tour of potions if we get your son back?
The last time you saw him would have been at home with him going off, and it was like 2 years ago.
Oh, he's dead. It's been 2 years since he saw him.
He's been gone from Baldur's Gate for 2 years.
Was it 2 years ago
He's
when
dead.
this
The Longstriders were sent after the future failed to acquire something that is in our possession. If we need bait, I think the Sword of Sacrifice is our best bet.
Ooh,
There could be other markets.
there are definitely other markets.
Yeah.
And there was definitely some place you guys were talking about them that they were there and overheard you.
Pineapple surprise.
So, wow, did not expect to go back there.
We're going back to that fucking place.
A sword with magical properties, and we are now looking to offload it to an interested buyer.
I like it.
Asher would like to say before she leaves.
Yeah.
She'd like to say to
She'd like to
the
say you are a
Patreon,
terrible host.
Thank you so much for this evening. I understand what it feels like to have a family member fall under the sway of this group.
Is that a potion?
It's begun.
I would drink it immediately.
He drinks it immediately.
It's a potion of cure blindness.
Conveniently located.
That was a really fun episode. I think that one was just as good as the last one, the one about in the theater. I mean, you need to further the storyline, I guess, so it makes sense. But like, my God, that starts happening if I'm in a room. Bye-bye, I'm leaving. I'm not staying here no more. You guys suck as hosts. You're rude and your food sucks. One of the food plates didn't even have food on it. I had to imagine it. But that is it for this reaction, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. The next one should be up within the next week, hopefully. Trying to catch up on some recording before I go away because I have a trip planned soon. So yeah, I'm hoping to get the next one up in the next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you all soon.